Good morning from Houston, Texas. We are at the National Museum of Funeral History today. Okay, so this is an oddball type of place for me, not one I typically go to. I'm very curious, but I do want to caution you as the viewer, if you are triggered by funeral history, the customs of other cultures, anything that's associated with funerals or the passing of someone, including caskets, you might want to skip this video. I will forgive you just this once, but if you are curious like me and those things are not going to bother you, follow me inside and we'll see what we can see. How about we check out the merchandise first? See if we need to buy anything. So as you enter, you've got a couple of different places you can go, but it looks like we're going to start in the presidential section. So this is former presidents, some of their funerals, some of the things used in their funerals, I'm assuming. This hearse was used for Presidents Ronald Reagan and Gerald Ford. It says it was used for the California segments of the state funerals. It's very nice and shiny. It's a casket. Check out the back. The casket inside with a flag draped over. Looks like they've got a special section for President George H.W. Bush, father of George W. Bush. Some of the outfits worn during the funeral. This is a locomotive, a model of George H.W. Bush. The funeral train, I guess. You can see where the little casket goes. There. Crazy. Just little memorabilia. There's even a flattened penny. Funeral train. Going into the presidential funerals, a little bit of history. Let's see what we can see. This has always weirded me out, these death masks. Abraham Lincoln. And here we have a casket with Abraham Lincoln in it. That is a fancy casket. Honestly, kind of like it. Honor guard uniform this guy's wearing. Let's see. The coffin, Abraham Lincoln's coffin, was 6 feet, 6 inches in length. He was 6'4", and 1.5 feet across. It was made of solid walnut and covered in a heavy black broadcloth and lined with lead, and obviously silver on it. It's a beautiful casket. We saw George H.W. Bush's funeral train or car. This is Abraham Lincoln's. Model of his something else. There's the casket. And the horses are draped with the black cloth. That's just something you don't see anymore. So this casket is mahogany. It's solid mahogany, and it's the same model and style used for President John F. Kennedy. Kind of simple compared to Abraham Lincoln's, huh? Just slightly different. So this is kind of neat. This torch is the original element used at the President Kennedy's gravesite from 1967 to 1998. This was, I guess, donated courtesy of the Arlington National Cemetery. I find that pretty fascinating, but there's a picture of when it was there. And I believe this granite stone is from the graves. It says the graves of President Kennedy and his wife Jacqueline, original granite stone. I think that's the processional right there for John F. Kennedy. It's a picture of it, but over here, it's a little model, I think. Okay, here's a little bit of the kind of gruesome part. This embalming machine was used to embalm the body of President Harry Truman. Kinda weird. Talk about going out in style. This is a hearse. 1921, it says Rock Falls Hearse. It says it weighs 4,600 pounds. It's pretty, honestly. Look inside. Looks like a stained glass back there behind the driver's seat. It's just phenomenal. Never seen anything like that. Sorry, I can't get enough of this. You can kind of see where the casket goes in there. I do have to say, I love the blue. Just looking at the wood on this thing, it's just crazy. Look at the back. It's like little curtains. I'm loving these hearses the most. They're just so different. 1929 Studebaker. Back here. I have to tell you that getting up close to this vehicle, and I don't know if it's like the wood in there, but it smells. Just to let you know if you only had smell-o-vision. But just to put your mind at ease, it just smells old, okay? So now we're headed into the International Hall section. And right off the bat, look at this. A hearse. Just wow. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out what this is. It's a 1972 Japanese ceremonial hearse. Wow. Toyota. Look how elaborate. So this hearse was actually found in Germany, 1860. Horse-drawn, of course. But wow. That is nuts. Angel on top. Casket inside. What is that? Heart, an anchor, and a cross. Y'all, I'm just fascinated by the carriages, by these hearses. Is it hearse or hearses? The plural of hearse. I'm just fascinated by all of these. It just blows my mind. You know, it just seems like now things are so, they're formal, but they're not as formal as they used to be. Maybe a good or bad thing, I don't know. So now we've got Dia de los Muertos. I love the little chickens in the background there. Behind the skeleton. Coming through the door. It's a little creepy. This is the, they call the Ofrenda. They've got food here, flowers, fruits, drinks, pictures. All their family members that have passed. I mean, if you haven't watched Coco, can't help you. Alright, this is my second favorite thing about this museum so far. Caskets. Look at these custom caskets. What in the world? That is like a vegetable right there. Lots of fish. That's just... it's a crap. A life well lived. Okay, this one has to be my favorite right here. The chicken. I mean, it just fits me and my personality. Not that I'm a chicken, but I'm a country girl, so maybe they still make these. Brahma cow. It's got the little hump on his back. Look at this. It almost looks like one of those kids, you know, the cars for kids, you know, that they drive around. That you can buy at Walmart. Except this one has a dead body in it. Not for kids. The airplane. This is a section on the popes. And who is this? This is showing what the throne looks like. The throne on display is a replica of the elaborate throne used by Pope Benedict. That is nuts. What you expect to see a pope wearing? Wow. This is one of the coffins. It's very unelaborate. Here is inside. So if you want to know about the sanctification of a pope, the burial of a pope, it's pretty elaborate. The history of embalming. Ooh. Oh. So the ancient Egyptians were the first embalmers. They believed that if they preserved the body, that their spirits would last forever. So I also read that it took them, the process took about 70 days to complete. This is pretty elaborate. I love this. And once you were embalmed, these elaborate tombs. So this is showing embalming during the Civil War times, but I want to point something out. I'm back on this hearse because these are just fascinating to me, but this is called a box hearse, was used around 1890. But what I did not know, and I don't think a lot of people really know, is these are obviously horse-drawn hearses or carriages, but traditionally black horses were used for men. So if you saw a black horse pulling the hearse, it would signify that a man passed. But they would use white horses for women. So if you saw two white horses pulling the hearse, obviously it would be a woman. But the thing is there was a price difference between the two. Traditionally, for a man using the black horses, this hearse could be rented for like $1 a day. But white horses were rarer, they considered, back then. And it was $2 a day. Never would have thought. Never known that. Learn something new every day.
During the late 1700s and early 1800s, much experimentation and refinement
These are instruments used or have been used in embalming. I'm not going to get into too much detail with all of that, but I thought this was interesting. There is a book, Signs of Death, and the test for signs of death. Before you start embalming someone, please make sure they're dead. These displays that they have set up in here are very elaborate and very well done. Very impressed so far with this museum. So in the 19th century, the wake would normally take place inside the home. So there was an undertaker that would come and attend the deceased inside the home. they would probably be in the home. The wake would probably last about 3 days. And friends, family would visit the deceased in their home. Very, very different practices. Still loving these carriages used in the funerals. This one was used in 1888. Let's see if I can take a peek inside. Not a lot of leg room. Thanks for the memories. Must be a memorial to certain people here.
Alma mater, yes. And Cuban ramen towels from
Hope.
the very best hotel.
Looks like it's just a little bit of memorabilia for some people. This is an extensive collection of funeral programs for different people. Look at that. James Gandolfini. Got Jim Henson. Roy Rogers. Wow. There's something else. Whitney Houston. It's a really cool nod to a lot of people. Some of the Western stars. It's a neat display. But check this out. Robin Williams. These hiking boots were worn by him in the movie RV. Here's the DVD. I did watch that movie and it was hilarious. But yeah. Back to these awesome hearses. This one's green. '26 model. Sayers and Scoville, I think. I'm saying it right. 1916 Buick. Sayers and Scoville Hearse, it says. It's just gorgeous. And that, apparently, is an Italian Renaissance casket. Wow. Let me see the top of it. this thing right here is a monster. This is a 1916 Packard funeral bus. Look at this. Plenty of room. Wow, let me show you how big this thing is. Okay, so this bus held the casket, pallbearers, and 20 mourners. Yeah, room for the casket. Some more of these carriages, hearses, horse-drawn hearse. You know, I used to think that a modern day hearse was a large vehicle, but these pretty much have it beat by a long shot. These are very large vehicles. 1935 Studebaker. (1951) Cadillac. And a 1939 Superior LaSalle Montclair.
That was fun. Very interesting.
What did you think about the museum?
It's very interesting. Never seen anything like it.
It was very large. They had a lot of displays.
All kinds of stuff, different caskets, embalmings, anything you can think of, but it's related to funerals.
And it's not really that morbid.
No.
It's more like historical stuff, and it's not really like nasty. There's a couple of things that are questionable, but
Oh, the embalming.
yeah.
Yeah, that was the only thing I was a little. But you'll have to come here and check it out yourselves.
See if Puff of Bellies is still open. Let's see, it says open. So you got the chili. Has it got beans in it?
It's got beans, cheese. Yeah, it's that northern style chili.
I got something better. I got the small chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and green beans. What you think about your bowl of chili?
It was very good.
But what?
I thought it was very good.
It was very good, but spicy. He wasn't expecting it to be spicy,
Well,
and it was.
It started off mild and just about the right amount. And the further I got down,
The spicier it
getting
got.
spicier.
Well, you ate it all. This is what I'm down to. So needless to say, the chicken fried steak was good. Not the best I've had, but the mashed potatoes taste like homemade. So that's good, but the gravy's really good too. No more green beans. So I'd say it was pretty good.
It's like that creeping heat that comes afterwards, but it's pretty good. I thought it was a pretty decent bowl of chili.
Is your belly puffed up like Puff-A-Belly Chef up there on the wall?
Never.
After you ate all the chili.
Well, I guess we'll find out later.
You got the Queen, the Prince.
Yeah.
You got like the royal family here. The British market.
Yeah. Guess he's not in there.
Shh. We don't talk about Bruno. Had to check this out. It's a little. This is funny little characters again. Let's see. Tarot readings in there. Or is it in here? You see?
There's a waving. Friends table.
Need some dessert.
They were out of chocolate ice cream, so I had to get some vanilla, get some hot fudge,
We'll make it a float.
and make it my float. So I'm just gonna
Make it
pour
float.
this guy.
Drink.
So,
Drink.
chugging this down.
Okay, so it's like 80 something degrees outside. I look like a drowned rat, but
Yeah,
just wanted to give a conclusion to this video. So thank you for watching, and hope you come back the next time to see where we go next.
Yeah.
So hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.
Definitely worth the trip.
Bye.
Take care.